I wish, like, if it's one thing that people shouldn't be like ever afraid to do is have a mentor or have someone
Yes.
who you could actually like trust to a certain degree and love the fact that you could listen to them and obtain any form of knowledge. And I wish I could get here and say, okay, there's this XYZ guy who's just preaching to me, but that really wasn't the case. What really happened, as much as I hate to say it because of like the storyline behind the movie, but it's not necessarily how and what he did within that movie because to be honest, a lot of the financial markets are relatively the same to the movie. And the movie I'm referring to is Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes. You're gonna say that.
With that being said, like it's not the grifty part more that I'm looking at. It's more of just understanding that there is money to be made and it's how do you go about making it. And you know, I remember at one part in that movie, I must have watched that movie over 100 times, but I remember
I'm gonna rewatch that. I'm gonna rewatch it again.
and I watched that movie years because at this point I can't remember when it came out, but it is relatively old now. So I watched it like a few years back before COVID, and I was younger because, like I said, right now I'm on 31. I was younger, and it did stick with me and resonate with me the way it did back then, as how it did in 2020, and of course now. But 2020 is really when I watched it like a few times, and that's kind of when it resonated with me. Where I'm like, okay, he's talking penny stocks. To relate penny stocks to like meme or altcoins, it's relatively same. And then you had your blue chip stocks that are like your Teslas, your Apple, your Bitcoins. So a lot of these things kind of, you know, intertwine with each other and it starts to make sense. So you're just grasping the overall, like I said, not necessarily what he's doing, but just the overall concept of how markets work. And then, you know, his story, he's like 26 or something in the movie.
Yes. A lot of that.
Age. I know it was years ago, but regardless, you know, what he did within that movie, it's a good eye opener.
Yes.
And I feel like after I watched that a few times, it really made me like, okay, let me really lock in with these markets and really see what's going on. And man, it was great because besides even like, forget about even the money or anything like that, it really makes you understand the world and how the world operates and just how cycles work, how markets repeat themselves, how history repeats themselves, why big players are making certain moves, why they're making certain decisions, why housing markets are crashing, why they're going up. So when you grasp that sense of how markets work and how they're intertwined with and related to real life global issues, man, it really opens your eyes. And like I could sit here and speak. I'm no politician, but I could sit here and dive into that as well. But it's like it just really makes you really understand, like, okay, let me keep my loved ones really close to me.
Yes.
You know, this world could be, you know, who knows what didn't have to allow you.
When you start making investments, I realize that that's when you start tapping into what your country or what the world is doing.
Yeah.
Like you really, certain things start to affect you. You see what I'm saying? Like something very simple, like just going to the grocery store and seeing the price change of everything is just like, it's still mind blowing.
Yeah, man. Like before 2020, if you tried to ask me this stuff, like I didn't know nothing of like realistically, if anything, it's just I'm trying to put together like conspiracies or whatever the case is. But when you really understand like how markets work and how history works, it really
does
your eyes. It really opens your eyes to even how politics work, why war happens, who's investing in these companies, why weaponry stocks will explode before certain. So it really makes you question a lot of things. You know, I'm not here to be like the next like politician or anything like that, but like I said, it really makes you just open your eyes to what the world is and what you can also achieve out of it. And you kind of got to think like these big players to be a big player. So you're watching what these big players are doing, watching what these major companies are doing, and you're just really understanding why.
Why, yes.
Why that they're